Good morning and welcome to today's episode of Nadya's Identity Files. I'm going to be keeping my introduction today sweet, short, and simple because I have two amazing guests and I want to cut right to their interviews. Today what we're going to be talking about, it's actually a fairly interesting subject. We're going to discuss the intersection between faith and identity and how you can explore your faith in your art, whether your art or your craft, whether that is hosting a TV show or just being an entertainer generally or being a musician. So we're going to look at how there's different ways that people reflect their faith. And faith is it's actually a broad word. You know, a lot of people, when we hear that, we automatically think faith means religion. Now, I consider myself a fairly spiritual and faithful person, but not in a religious sense. I grew up as a Jewish girl, so my mother is Jewish. She's not really practicing anymore, and neither am I. But, I don't think actually growing up that way was the causation for my faith. What has been the cause of my faith and my spirituality is just kind of overcoming a lot of obstacles over the course of my life, especially in the process of finding myself as this multi-hyphenate entrepreneur crazy girl, right? I do a lot of different things, and in order to persevere and get to where I am today, I've had to, quote unquote, keep the faith. I've had to be spiritual. I've had to have faith in myself. So we want to talk about what that really means and how that can impact your identity. Again, for some, being faithful means having a close relationship or alignment with God. And of course, God takes many different forms. So we're going to discuss that. And we're just going to discuss just being faithful and being in line with your sense of self and your sense of direction and the importance of that, and how, of course, both of these different avenues of exploring faith can connect to one sense of purpose and the necessity. Y'all, I'm stammering today. I can't talk. Like, my brain isn't quite working. I need to have the faith in my, stuttering abilities. But, okay, so we're going to talk about how you can find your purpose through your faith, or how your purpose can kind of draw out your faith. So, all of these things are pretty reflexive and interconnected. So now, without further ado, I would like to introduce you to my two guests. So first, we're going to talk with Moses Uver, and I think it might be Uveri. So Moses, when I bring you on via Skype, please correct my pronunciation if it completely sucks. Moses is an American rapper. Uveri got his start in hometown of Dallas, Texas, the United States, good old Dallas. I have not been to Dallas. I've been to Beaumont, which is outside of Houston, but I've never been to Dallas. So I'd love to go. And Moses' family, however, is actually from a small town in Nigeria, and he's the first person in his family to grow up in the United States. He graduated from Bergner High School in 2004, and he has been a professional hip-hop artist since 2008. His goal is to bring a new sound and vibe to hip-hop. He considers himself an aspirational hip-hop artist, faith-based hip-hop artist. He also is a TV host and has worked for such platforms like TBN. He has the latest release, I think his album is called Kingdom of the Fallen, and that album actually reached the top 100 of the iTunes charts and was followed up with a performance at the historic Clyde Warren Park. And he's noted as the first hip-hop artist in history to be invited as a headliner. And each project of his musical offerings were influenced by artists such as Kanye West, Common, Pigeon John, and Isaac Hayes. I am excited to speak with him. Now, my other guest is also super successful in her own right. Kitty Kaboom is a versatile, dynamic, professional voiceover actress, TV host, and radio jock that works between DC, New York, and LA. She's extremely passionate about entertaining people and believes the sky is the limit and her faith is infinite. She's worked for networks like Nickelodeon, BET, and VH1, just to name a few. So, obviously, faith is extremely important, but many people are afraid to discuss it openly and discuss the different nuances of faith and to see it as more multidimensional than just aligning oneself with a certain religion. So when we come back, we'll be talking with Moses about his journey, and right after with Kitty, and then we're going to do a cool round table looping in the Skype of Moses. So your face, Moses is going to be like with us virtually. It's going to be pretty cool. Stay tuned.